Hello everyone, my name is Ivo and welcome to Cooking with the Koyas. There's nothing like making your own pizza and your own pizza dough. I've shared with you my ultimate pizza dough recipe, my Napoli, my same day, my gluten-free, many pizza dough recipes. But today, it's all about sourdough pizza. And yes, we're going to use our sourdough starter. For those of you who don't have a sourdough starter, I'll put links in the description to all those other videos I mentioned, but I'll also put a link in the description if you want to make your own sourdough starter. It's really easy. Okay, but today I'm going to share with you my recipe for homemade pizza dough using sourdough starter, and it all starts right here. I'm going to use a 00 flour. Okay, I have 160 grams of 00 flour. High protein. I'm using this particular one right here, the Caputo Pizzeria 00 flour. Use any 00 flour you want. I'm just showing you what I'm using. The key is it has to be a higher protein. This is 13.3%. So 160 grams of the 00 flour. I'm also going to use 30 grams of a semola flour. And the semola flour I'm using today is this La Molizana brand that is specifically for pizza. But again, you don't have to use this. I'm just showing you what I'm using. Any semola flour will work. 14% protein is the key. Just check the package. So I've got 160 grams of 00, 30 grams of semola, which is a total of 190 grams of flour. And to that, I'm going to add 190 grams of water. Room temp water. In it goes. Diastatic malt powder. I know it sounds like it's a chemical. It is not. It is all natural. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of diastatic malt powder. Why use the diastatic malt? It's a superfood for yeast. It helps with the browning, helps with the rising, helps with the flavor. Is it essential? No. It's optional. Is it preferred? Absolutely yes. It's one of those baker's secrets. Okay, so diastatic malt powder, 1 teaspoon, about 3 grams. Now, my beautiful sourdough starter. We are going to add our sourdough starter. Let me get my, get my lid here. And we're going to add 110 grams of my sourdough starter. And the sourdough starter consists of, basically when you mix it or when you make it, it's half flour and half water. So 110 grams. Oh, not yet, Ivo. Not yet. Turn your... That would not have been good because it's very important to have the right hydration level when you're making your pizza dough. So 110 grams, let's get this, there we go. Now let's get it in. 110 grams of sourdough starter, here we go. That's better. And for those who don't use metric, who use imperial, I will have all the conversions in the description for you. That is 120 grams, so a little bit much. $107. This scale is very accurate. 110. There we go. All right, now that we've got all our ingredients in there, very simple, we're going to mix everything together. So we're making like a poolish, but I guess you can't call it a poolish because we're not using yeast. It's more of a levain, but let's just call it a preferment. Okay, we're making our preferment. And mix everything together. Get it all incorporated, and yes, when you think you've mixed enough, just mix a little more. You want to make sure that you have a nice, it's going to be like a, like a batter, like a pancake batter. It's not going to be thick. It's going to be more like a batter. I'll show you there, right? It's more like a batter. And that's our preferment. So, how easy was that? We added some flour, we added some water, we added a little bit of diastatic malt, and our sourdough starter. We gave it a mix. Step 1, done. So we're going to cover this, and we are going to let it rise, which typically could take, now it depends. This is the part where it depends. We want it to double in size, basically. So it's going to take, in my case, anywhere from 5 to 9 hours, in that range. So we're going to let it sit. I'm going to keep an eye on it. It depends on the temperature of the house, depends on the elevation where you live. So, but anyhow, the key is you want it to double. So typically 5 to 9 hours. Let's give it some time and we'll come right back. Oh, and actually, just before we sign off there, I want you to see exactly where that dough is. And you can see there, it is just below the red line. Okay, so there you get a good look and you'll see. So it's going to have to rise to at least the red line level, hopefully higher. All right, now we'll let it rest. Here we are 6 hours later, and our dough has been resting nicely. And as you can see, it's just above the red line there. And it is also nice and bubbly on the top. In fact, I want to show you those nice bubbles on the top of this dough. Yes, we have a very active pre-ferment. Take a look at those nice that nice bubbly surface there. That's exactly what you want to see right there. Okay, let's make our final dough. So to this beautiful pre-ferment, we're going to add, I have here 115 grams of the 00 flour, the same 00 flour we used before. I have 20 grams of the semola flour, the same semola flour that we used before. And semola flour is basically semolina flour that's been reground to a finer grind. Okay, and then I have here 8 grams of salt, just regular table salt, 8 grams of salt. Of course, our secret ingredient, 1 teaspoon of the diastatic malt powder, which is again about 3 grams. We're going to add that. So those are all our dry ingredients. I'm just going to mix them all together. Okay, now I'm going to add them to our pre-ferment. Now, as far as water, how much water are we going to add? 0. We have enough water in the pre-ferment that's going to make our dough with a final hydration level of about 65%, which is exactly what we want. But however, we are going to add 2 teaspoons, of extra virgin olive oil. So 1 and 2. Okay, the magic has now happened. It is time to mix this all together. And then of course, yes, we're going to get in there with our hands and we're going to mix this dough and incorporate all these ingredients very nicely. So start by mixing. I like to use a spatula. A firm spatula works great. Wooden spoon also works well. Okay. Now I'm going to get in here with my hands and squeeze everything together. It's going to be a little bit sticky, but that's okay. You want to pick up all the flour. You can see there's, I don't know if you can see or not, but there is flour there that still needs to be picked up. So I'm just going to work this around and kind of squeeze the dough together, picking up all those little loose bits of flour as I go along here. Okay, keep working it around. Okay, almost got every little bit picked up. Oh, there we go. Completely clean. Here's our dough. And now we're going to use the pincer method. Squeeze the dough together. Squeeze, turn, squeeze, turn, squeeze, turn, squeeze. And when you're doing that, you're going to feel the dough. You're going to feel like a little dry lumps of dough as you do that, little clumps on the inside. And as you squeeze it like this, using what we call the pincer method, you're going to get rid of all those little clumps and you're going to have a nice, smooth dough. So I'm gonna do this for about a minute or so. So I actually went about 2 minutes, and our dough is no longer clumpy. It's nice and soft when I squeeze it. And yes, it's gonna be sticky, but don't worry, it gets less sticky as we go along. So at this point, we're gonna wanna keep it covered, and we're gonna come back to it in about 20 to 30 minutes. It's been about 30 minutes, and it's time to do our first series of folds. And by folds, what I mean is grabbing the dough, lifting it up, and just folding it over on itself. Grab the dough, I'll show you on the counter. Just grab the dough, lift and fold, lift and fold. So you're going to do a series of these folds, and you can see the dough is stiffening up really nicely. That's our gluten network starting to develop. So you want to do at least 4, but I like to do up to 10 folds to really get that gluten network going. Look at this beautiful dough, and as you can see, it's already less sticky. It feels a little sticky, but it's not sticking to me, which is really, really nice. We're starting to develop our beautiful sourdough pizza dough, folks, right here. Okay, look at this already. Look at that already. Isn't that nice? Okay, so it needs another rest. 20 to 30 minute rest again, and then another series of folds. So it's time to do another set of folds. Same thing, folks. Lift and fold it over. Very, very simple. And it's firmed up very, very nicely. Our dough is just coming along so nice. Again, you want to do at least 4, but you could do up to 10. I think I've lost count, but I know I've done at least 5 by now. Okay. All right, one more. All right. Fold that over. There we go. Our dough is very nicely again, nicely folded. Gluten network is formed. You guessed it. Time for another rest. This time, 3 to 4 hours. It's going to rise nicely, and we'll do our next step, which is another very simple one. Okay, 3 to 4 hours. It's been about 3.5 hours, and our dough has been resting very, very nicely. Okay, so I put a drop of olive oil in this container. I'm just going to spread it around. And I also did a drop of olive oil in this container, because if I didn't mention it, we're making 2 pizza doughs. This recipe makes 2 pizza doughs. So we're going to split our dough in half. So let's take this beautiful dough out of the container. And the only reason I put oh, that's nice. The only reason I put the olive oil in the container is to prevent sticking. All right, so that comes out. You're looking at about 315 grams per dough ball. So I'm gonna eye it here and just go in half. Turn that on. Okay, this one looks a little bit bigger. Definitely looks bigger. Okay, and let's get this weighed. Tear that. This definitely looks too small. 295 grams. 307. 316. That's going to work. Okay, so what we do now with our dough, and look at that, isn't that nice? We're going to shape it into a round. So again, it's a little sticky, but not sticking to us. So we're going to do a 4-fold. One side, the other side, the other side. And then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to form it into a round by just pulling the dough towards me on this dry surface. And what happens is it grips the counter and it starts to form into a tight ball. Once you've got it nice and tight, there we go. Okay, now it's good to go. And we're going to put it in its container. 316 grams. That's good. And now with our other dough, I already know it's going to be around 315. I'll just tear the weight there. Same thing, do a 4-fold. So lift and fold towards me. Lift the other end, lift the side over, the other side over. All right, turn it around, and then we're going to shape it into a round. Very, 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 very easy. Okay, very easy. And you want it to be, you know, medium tight. If you start doing it too tight, what happens? The gluten tears, and you'll notice the surface of your dough ball will start to tear. But this is there. That's perfect. Put that in. It's actually 324 grams, so a little bit bigger. Okay. Now, that's it for this. I've covered them. What we're going to do now, folks, these are going right in the refrigerator. This is the important part now. So we've done all the work. That's it. It just needs to rest. 1 to 3 days. If you make your pizza tomorrow, after 1 day, after 24 hours, you're going to have a nice sourdough and a relatively strong dough to work with, a good dough to work with. After 2 days, 48 hours, that's the sweet spot. You're going to have full flavor with the sourdough, and you're going to have good strength in the dough. So 2 days is the sweet spot. 3 days, still good. You're going to lose a little bit of strength, but you're still going to have lots of sourdough flavor. So it all depends on your schedule. And of course, I've timed it so that I'm going to make pizza in 2 days. So these are going to go in the refrigerator. They're going to sit for 48 hours. And 2 days from now, we're going to fire up the oven and make some pizzas. So stay tuned. We have reached the sweet spot. It's been 2 days, 48 hours. Time to take our doughs out of the refrigerator, and we're going to let them sit and get to room temp. They're going to sit for about 2 hours, and then we're going to make our pizzas. Okay, it's now time to build our pizzas. We got our beautiful dough that's been resting. Let's put that one aside. And we're going to start off. I'm going to use some rice flour. Rice flour's got a high heat resistance, and it's got basically no flavor, and it's going to help the non-sticking of our pizza dough. I don't like to use regular white flour. I'll either use rice flour or I'll use semolina flour. Those are my two go-tos. Okay, we got our nice pizza dough, sourdough pizza dough. Actually, just a little bit of olive oil on my fingers. Okay, let's get this dough going. I like to just push down and make it into a circular shape, going around in a circle. Get it to a certain size, right about there. And then what I like to do is pick up my dough, I'll move the flour. And the only reason for that is just so it doesn't stick when we go to launch it. And then I just kind of roll it in my hands with its own weight, let its own weight hang down, and just let it kind of fall on its own weight. You can see this dough is very, very durable. Okay, we got some good strength on this pizza dough. So I'm going to continue to do this until I get it to the size that I want, which is about 12 inches, thereabouts. Okay, I'll put it down, give it a little twist, and we're going to let it hang down again a bit. It's getting there, and a little more. Yes, this dough is handling very, very well. Okay, just going to give it a little more, stretch it just a bit more, make it just a bit thinner. Get that nice thin crust going on this pizza. Oh yeah. There we go, there we go. We've got a nice round going here. Oh, this dough handles extremely, extremely well. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic. All right, so we're just let's get it staged. We're going to set that down right there. let me get the other dough going. We're gonna make 2 pizzas 2 different ways. I've got a high temperature pizza oven at 730 degrees Fahrenheit, and I've got my normal oven at 500 degrees. So this dough that we're making is great for high temperature pizza ovens, as well as your regular pizza oven that you have at home. So we're gonna do both different ways. The one in the normal oven is gonna take about 10 minutes. In the high temp oven, about 2 minutes. And we'll take a look at the difference between the two. So let's get this other dough going and shaped. Okay, and I think our second dough, that looks pretty good right there. Nice and thin. This dough really handles so well. Okay, so fun part. Let's move that one aside. Let's get this one. We're gonna do things, we're gonna keep it simple today, folks. So a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I like to start off with that. Okay, we're gonna put some on our pizza dough. You could use, of course, any toppings that you like. We're gonna keep ours on the simple side today. And I have my beautiful San Marzano tomato sauce. And if you're interested in how I make this, I will put a link in the description for you. It's a beautiful pizza sauce. And we're gonna put a little bit of that on. I don't wanna overpower it. Okay. There we go. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. And now, two choices. I could put the cheese on now. I think I will. Sometimes I like to put the mushroom on first, but we're going to put some mozzarella cheese on here that I shredded a little earlier. Always get yourself a good pizza mozzarella if you can. Okay, let's test this out. Yeah, that's great. And what I've done with the mushrooms, I've got some mushrooms here and I chopped them up into bits. So as opposed to doing the slices, I like to, chop them up into little bits. And maybe just a little bit of some pieces of sun-dried tomato. I know what I forgot. My hot peppers. Okay, we're going to get them though. I'll put them on the second pizza. And right now we're just going to go with our pepperoni. So basically it's a cheese mushroom, a little bit of sun-dried tomato and pepperoni pizza. Two stuck together. No, just a thick one. Okay, we can do that. Okay. A little more pepperoni. We're going to make it look a little nice. There we go. All right. So I'm going to say this one is ready to go in the oven. Okay. Just before I put it in, I want to get my hot peppers though and get it staged for the next pizza. All right, let's get this pizza launched. We're going to put it in our stove oven. Okay, in it goes. And I have a stone and I have a steel. And today we're using the pizza steel. So the steel, and they're both fantastic. The steel is maybe just a little bit better. Okay, so now that we've launched that, let's get, because that needs 10 minutes. So I started a 10-minute timer, sometimes 9 minutes. But I've started a 10-minute timer on that. And while that one's cooking, we can get this pizza going in our other oven. And same thing, nice extra virgin olive oil. Get that spread around. Very nice. There we go. Same thing. We're going to make them basically the same, folks. And our sauce. One more. There we go. Spread that around. This is the fun part, folks. Making pizza at home is absolutely fantastic. And when you make your own dough, So nice. Okay. There we go. That's looking pretty good. This one's not exactly round, but that's okay. And again, our mozzarella cheese. Okay, that gets spread around. And that's pretty good. And our mushroom. A little bit of mushroom. Okay. And just a bit of sun-dried tomato. Not a lot, just a little for enhanced flavor. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, I can't believe I almost forgot the hot peppers. So I have to make one without hot peppers because my mother's going to join us tonight and she can't handle the hot peppers, but I will enjoy this one for sure with the hot peppers. Okay, and now the pepperoni. Let's fix this up really nice. Okay. Yeah, I really like the semolina flour or the rice flour. The regular, if you use regular all-purpose flour on the bottom of your pizzas, it'll burn and it'll change the taste of the pizza. I do not like doing that. So, semolina is great. It's similar to cornmeal, but it's better. Okay, so this one looks ready. Let's launch this one in our high temperature oven. That one's only going to take 2 minutes. So I'm going to start a timer, or I'll actually start the stopwatch because the timer's going on the other one. We're going to give that one 2 minutes. Meanwhile, where's my timer? Our other one is going to take still 6 more minutes. So we got time. This one will be ready before that one is. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes. And the other one still has over 4. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Take a look at this beautiful pizza. 2 minutes start to finish. Hey, look at that. Sourdough pizza. Isn't that nice? Okay, now what I like to do, still have some time before the other one's ready. I like to, oh, look at that. Take some extra virgin olive oil and I like to go just on the crust. I like to do that. Okay, I work my way around. Oh, yes. That right there is looking amazing. And can I lift it up and show you the bottom? Take a look at that if you can. Quick peek. Beautiful. You gotta love that. Okay, pizza number 1 is done. And our timer, we still have 3 minutes on the other pizza. Timer's up. Let's go get our pizza. Oven off. Let's take a look. Oh, yes. Yes. Hey, look at that pizza. Isn't that nice? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pizza. Okay, very similar. This one's got a little bit darker charring than the other one, but this has got some nice brown tiger spots on it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You do not need a high temperature pizza oven, that's for sure. Your regular oven works fine at 500 degrees, and you're going to want it to stay about 10 minutes. Sometimes 9 depending on your oven, but for mine it's a good 10 minutes. A little bit of olive oil on the crust. Okay. Okay. Now before I cut these, I'm going to want to take a photo of these right now. Okay, I got my beautiful photo done. Now, folks, it's time for the taste test. I'm going to taste test the one with the hot peppers on it. This one is the one that my mother's going to enjoy for dinner. This one gonna slice it, and a big roller is better when it comes to slicing. Okay, I'm gonna cut it up into 8 pieces. 8 pieces, and then what I like to do is I like to put it on a perforated sheet so it doesn't sweat on the bottom. And then of course I get my pizza plate, and that's how I like to serve my pizza right there. You know which piece I'm going for, right? The one with the darker spots on it. That piece right there. Oh, that looks good. Nice air pockets. I don't know if you could see there, a nice air pocket on the crust. Beautiful air pocket. Nice airy. Sourdough pizza. This is absolutely delicious. The toppings, of course, we put on are very good. But the dough, you saw how nicely that dough handled. Again, no yeast, just sourdough. That's the yeast. And the flavor on the dough is fantastic. It handles well, it cooks well, and it tastes amazing. The dough, for being a sourdough, I'm going to say that is fantastic. And if you look at the other one, this one looks like it's even risen more. The air pockets, look at this. This one in the regular oven, actually the crust is much higher. It's risen much higher, so when I cut into that one, you're going to see some real nice air pockets in there. In fact, why don't I do that real quick? Let me just do that real quick, because this pizza, right in your normal oven, right off the bat, is a little bit crispier, a lot crispier. Wow, I'm glad I cut into that. A lot crispier. Let's separate that. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, it might be a little hard for you to see, but generally speaking, you can see there's nice aeration in the dough. And this one, my mother is going to enjoy. So same thing on the tray, on the plate. We've got ourselves dinner. Little antipasto, some vegetables, a glass of wine. We're good to go. Homemade pizza dough, whether you use regular yeast or sourdough. This particular case, it was sourdough, and it's amazing. This is my best sourdough pizza recipe. Hope you give it a try. Thanks for spending time in the kitchen with me on today's episode of Cooking with the Koyas. And as always, folks, until next time, buon appetito.